All right, I'm gonna talk a little bit about like manifestations and stuff like that. I don't know if you've read any books, like book like The Secret and stuff like that. It talks about manifestations, and they always make it so confusing when they're like, "Oh, you just have to believe that you already have it to have what you don't think that you already have." And it just gets so confusing because how can you know that you have something that you don't currently have that you want, but you don't have it, but you have to believe that you have it? I've pondered on this for a very long time. And I started like basically focusing on my goals, or really making goals, okay? So when I think about what I don't have that I desire, that I want, then I just start thinking, all right, I mean, most people do. I know this is like, so I just try to figure out how can I get what I want, right? So it doesn't matter how outlandish it is. It doesn't matter, if there's something that you want and you start putting a lot of mental energy into it about how can I get that? How can I achieve my goal? Then your mind really starts to go crazy and starts looking for the pathways to achieve that goal. And again, it doesn't matter what goal it is, whatever you want. So like in my life, I got quite a few goals, I've said before. And the more that I started looking at them goals, the more that I started like really looking at it and like, all right, what can I do right now, today, that'll help me get one step closer to that goal? Once I started doing that, once I started like really, constantly thinking about this, and one of the tricks that I learned from one of the books that I read is to essentially like write down what your goals are. And like I did it in like a paragraph form, kind of talking to myself. And I wrote down, what my goals are, and how I'm going to achieve those goals currently. And this is something that I update as I need to. Like I'll rewrite it. And it's something that I read every day. And it's really helped me because it helps me to keep in perspective of what I'm trying to do. So I'm focusing on these goals. I'm bringing it up every day. I'm constantly thinking about it. All right, what can I do? What can I do? What can I do? What can I do? So then I tell myself, all right, I'm doing everything that I can do. So like now, all right, I know I'm on path. If I keep doing what I'm doing right now, I'm on path, I'll get there. So that's where like the manifestation is like starting to make sense to me. Because as I'm looking at these goals, this is what I'm trying to do. It's something that I want that I don't currently have. So I'm trying to manifest it, right? So I got the goals. I'm moving towards those goals every single day because I'm constantly asking myself, what can I do every single day? So if you go by like probabilities or statistics or stuff like that, which I like, I'm going to get there eventually. If every single day, that's my focus, that's my thought, that's what I'm trying to do, then the path starts to get clearer and clearer. And it is, and it has been. And this is what's mind blowing about it. Is, 6 months ago, I didn't have a couple of these goals, so I didn't even know it was a possible future for me, right? I didn't even know that it was something that was even possible. So once I started saying, all right, well, that's what I want, how can I achieve that? In the beginning, I had no idea, I had no clue. But as I kept thinking about it, kept going back to it, the path started getting clearer and clearer. So now it's an inevitability in my life. As long as I continue to do what I'm already doing, it's an inevitability that I'm going to get to where I'm trying to go. So in a sense, I do indeed already have that which I seek. Because it's an inevitability that I will get what I'm trying to get because I'm focusing on it so much. So that's not to say that you can just sit here and say you want an apple, close your eyes and open up and you have an apple in your hand, right? But it's the idea of like, hey, I want an apple. And then you're like, well, how can I get that apple? And what can I do to get to that apple? And then eventually you are going to have an apple in your hand. So and all we are is really each moment to moment. So it's just weird the way it circles around on itself. But like I had to bring us just stuff I think about on my way to work, and just putting two and two together about manifestation. And because you hear it your first time and you're like, no way you can do that. It's impossible. And then when you actually start putting it into practice and looking at it, like you can, you can make it sure it's a guarantee. And then once you see that guarantee, that inevitability that's going to happen, then you can sit there and be like, oh crap, I already have it. It's already there. And it's almost like it takes away like that fear, that like a good like if you really want something, you don't have it, most people tend to just get sad about it, and then they go around telling their friends about it, or like they really want this but they can't afford it, they can't have it, and they're always in that negative, depressive, which is an easy state to be in if we're being honest here, but you're always in like that negativity of it, of just not being able to have something that you want, and then just accepting defeat, right? But when you start actually focusing on trying to achieve what you're trying to get and what you want, and then you're like, all right, it's inevitability, and then you're like, all right, well then I already have it. So then your mind completely switches to, instead of sitting here pining after something that you don't have and then being sad and depressed about it, it's like, I already know that I'm going to have that event. I don't know when. You can't. There's no timeline here. I'm setting a timeline in my mind for how I want to achieve certain goals, right? But there's nothing that I'm setting in stone, because it could change, but it's still an inevitability. I'm probably rambling at this point, but it's the mindset of, I know that I'm going to have it eventually, inevitably. Then it puts you into the state of positivity of like, just continuing to get towards the goal, because now you're not stressed that you don't have it, because you're going to have it, and then that propels you towards it even further, and now you're not sitting here lamenting and being sad and depressed that you don't have what you're trying to get to, that you know you're going to get to. It's just a crazy circle, as everything is here. And I just had to put it out there, because this is stuff that just blows my mind when it starts to make sense, when you really look at the depth of what these sayings are and all these books and what these people tell you. Because if you just read it for face value, it only has one meaning, and in all reality there's so many levels and deeper layers to the onions of everything. And all right, that's enough for today.